The restaurant bustled with the usual evening crowd, a blend of laughter, clinking silverware, and the occasional sizzle from the kitchen. The warm glow of hanging lights gave the place a welcoming feel, and the scent of freshly baked bread and simmering soups filled the air. At the heart of this scene was Mia, a server who had worked at the restaurant for years. Her cheerful demeanor and natural warmth made her a favorite among both regulars and staff. Mia loved her job, not because it was easy, but because she had a knack for making people feel special. That evening, Mia noticed a woman sitting alone at a corner table. She was in her mid-30s, dressed in a simple cardigan and jeans, her hair pulled into a loose bun. There was something in her eyes, a heaviness that Mia had seen before. The woman, whose name she later learned was Claire, wasn't engrossed in her phone or a book like many solo diners. Instead, she seemed lost in thought, her hands lightly tracing the edge of the menu. As we continue with this story, please tell us where you are watching from, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell for more stories. Thank you. Mia approached the table with her signature smile. Good evening, welcome. Can I start you off with something to drink? Claire looked up, startled as if pulled from a distant memory. Oh, just water, please, she said softly, her voice betraying a slight tremor. As Mia walked back to the kitchen, she couldn't shake the feeling that Claire was having a tough day. Her instincts were rarely wrong, and something about Claire's quiet demeanor tugged at her heart. Deciding to do something small to brighten Claire's evening, Mia asked the chef if they could prepare one of their signature desserts on the house, a slice of rich chocolate cake drizzled with raspberry sauce. When Mia returned to Claire's table with the water, she also brought the dessert, placing it gently in front of her. This is from us, Mia said with a smile. Sometimes a little sweetness can make a tough day better. Claire looked at the cake, then back at Mia, her eyes widening in disbelief. I didn't order this, she said hesitantly. I know, Mia replied warmly. It's on the house. You deserve a little kindness today. For a moment, Claire just stared at the plate, her lips trembling as she tried to speak. Thank you, she finally whispered, her voice breaking. You don't know how much this means to me. As Claire took her first bite of the dessert, tears began to well up in her eyes. The simple gesture had touched her deeply, and for the first time that day, she felt a glimmer of hope. She looked up at Mia, who was now attending to another table, and felt a surge of gratitude for the stranger who had somehow sensed her pain. What Claire didn't know was that Mia had faced her own share of struggles. A few years ago, she had been in Claire's position, sitting alone, overwhelmed by life, and saved by the unexpected kindness of a stranger. It was a memory that had stayed with her and inspired her to pay it forward whenever she could. As the evening wore on, Claire finished her meal, leaving a generous tip and a heartfelt note for Mia. Your kindness reminded me that there's still good in the world. Thank you for being the light I needed today. Mia's small act of kindness created a ripple effect throughout the restaurant. A couple at a nearby table, who had overheard the exchange, decided to anonymously cover the bill for a young family dining across the room. Another guest left a glowing review online, praising the restaurant for its exceptional service and compassionate staff. By the end of the night, the restaurant was buzzing with a warmth that went beyond the food and ambience. Kindness, as it turned out, was as contagious as a smile. Mia reflected on the evening as she wiped down tables, her heart full. She didn't know the details of Claire's struggles, but she knew that she had made a difference. Claire left the restaurant with a lighter heart, inspired to carry that kindness forward. The next day, she visited an elderly neighbor she hadn't spoken to in months, bringing along a small basket of homemade cookies. As the days passed, the story of Mia's gesture continued to unfold in ways she couldn't have imagined. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, had a way of reaching farther than anyone could anticipate. They connected people, healed wounds, and reminded everyone of the simple truth that kindness, at its core, could change the world. Meanwhile, as Claire left the restaurant, the note she left for Mia caught the attention of the restaurant manager, James. He was a kind-hearted individual who valued his staff and appreciated moments when they went above and beyond for customers. James pulled Mia aside as she finished her shift and showed her the note. "This is why we do what we do, Mia," he said with a smile. "You've not only made someone's night, but reminded us all of the power of simple acts of kindness. Thank you for being an example." Mia blushed, but felt a deep sense of fulfillment. "It's just something I felt I had to do," she said humbly. Meanwhile, Claire, as she walked back to her small apartment, found herself reflecting deeply on Mia's gesture. That chocolate cake had been more than a dessert, it was a lifeline at a moment when she felt invisible to the world. Her struggles as a single mother, her financial worries, and the loneliness of recent months had weighed her down. But tonight, she felt seen, valued, and cared for. When Claire got home, she called her teenage son, Ethan, who was staying at his friend's house for the weekend. They hadn't spoken much in recent weeks due to her stress, but this moment reminded her of what mattered most. As they chatted, she promised herself to create more time for Ethan, knowing that he was her ultimate source of strength and joy. The next day, Claire returned to the restaurant. This time, she wasn't alone. She brought Ethan with her, wanting him to meet Mia. She approached Mia, who was busy attending to tables, and waited until she was free. "Mia," Claire began with a smile, "I just wanted you to meet my son, Ethan. I told him about what you did for me yesterday, and I wanted him to meet the person who reminded me how much kindness still exists in the world." Ethan shook Mia's hand and said, "Thank you for making my mom smile again. It means a lot." Mia's heart swelled with emotion. "It's great to meet you, Ethan. Your mom's kindness and strength shine through her. You're lucky to have her." Mia's story of kindness reached corporate headquarters. The regional manager decided to recognize Mia with an award for exceptional service, presenting it to her during a surprise staff meeting. Mia was overwhelmed with gratitude, but she insisted on sharing the credit with her team. "Kindness isn't just an individual act," she said during the ceremony. "It's a culture we create together." Meanwhile, Claire's life started to turn around. She felt renewed energy to face her challenges and even reached out to a local community center for support. She began volunteering there on weekends, inspired by Mia to pay the kindness forward. Mia and Claire's paths crossed several times after that, and their bond deepened. The restaurant became a regular spot for Claire and Ethan, and Mia always made time to chat with them. What started as a simple act of kindness blossomed into a meaningful friendship, showing how the smallest gestures could lead to profound connections. Kindness is free, yet it's the most valuable thing we can give. Never underestimate its power to change someone's life and your own. No matter how small an act of kindness may seem, its impact could be boundless, touching lives in ways no one could predict. The story of the chocolate cake, Claire's gratitude, and Mia's compassionate gesture became a favorite tale among the restaurant staff. It was a reminder of why they did what they did and the power of human connection in the unlikeliest of places. And while Mia never really sought recognition for her kindness, she carried the memory with her, a quiet testament to the impact one person could make. What act of kindness have you done recently? Please share with us in the comments section. If you appreciate this story, please like and share with your family and friends, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel for more inspiring stories.